Hello everybody, my name is Daniel. I'm one of the bass instructors here at School of Rock and Callan, and today we're going to be going over one of my favorite techniques. We're going to be going over slap and pop bass. So the first thing that I usually do before I even start playing is I sit here with my amp and my bass guitar and I go over the EQ. Now all EQ is just what's called tone shaping. You're making your bass sound either more warm or more bright. For slap and pop, you want to try to get your sound on your bass and your amp to be a little brighter. You don't want it brittle, but you want to make sure you get that kind of sound, but through your amp. So what I would usually do is I would usually boost your high mids a little bit, maybe cut a little bit of your low mids. If you don't understand that, on your tone knob, you want to try to open it up. Now for me, I have two tone knobs, and what I usually do is I'm going to roll my tone a little bit more towards the bridge, and what this is going to be doing, you're opening up the tone a little bit to make it a little bit more bright. If you turn it the other way, it's going to sound darker and more muddy. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll that a little bit more open, and we're going to try to get this bass to sound a little brighter. Now once we do that, we're going to be able to be set up for the lesson. So it isn't a motion where you're just using your thumb. You're actually using your entire wrist motion. Bass is a very percussive instrument when it comes to this, so don't be afraid to give it a little bit of love. So when I say a slap, all slap is you're rotating your wrist and hitting the string with the meatier part of your thumb. Now when you slap the bass, it's going to sound something like this. All I did is I took my thumb and my arm here and I rotated it and just used that motion from my wrist to just drop the thumb from the meaty part of the thumb right on the string. That's all you got to do. Now, the way that you're going to know that you hit your slap correctly is that you're going to be able to get a tone out of your bass. You're going to be able to get a note. If it sounds like muted, or if it sounds just squiggly, it doesn't quite sound like a note, then you need to press a little bit harder either on your fretting hand, or you need to remember that the slap isn't a slap and rest. It's a slap and then return. So the first thing you got to do is get that natural bounce into your bass playing. So what's going to happen is that when you hit the string, you don't let your thumb rest on the string. You're going to actually bounce. So when you hit the string, you're going to bounce off and you're going to let that note ring. What I usually tell people is that you're going to want to practice just fretting notes. Usually I would say pick a scale, a major scale, a minor scale, or just try to play along with some songs and just get that natural slap. Once you get that technique down and you get it clean, then I would graduate to popping. Now popping is what most people end up doing either by accident or because, you know, it's pretty intuitive. So what happens is that a pop is just that. You're literally gripping the string a little bit and letting it slam back down onto the fretboard, and that's how you get that pop. Now slap and pop go together usually in most songs in what's called a seesaw motion. What you're going to do is after you get your slap down, you're going to use either your pointer or your middle finger to kind of slightly grip underneath your string. Not want to go all the way in, but you want to be able to grip it a little bit with the meat of your fingers. You want to fret your note and you want to just let your fingers pull on the string and slide off. And that's how you do a slap or a pop. So with that technique, it's the same thing as with a slap. If you want to make sure that you're doing it right, go through a scale or two to a metronome, go through a song that you like, fret your note, grip the string, and just pull. And you're going to want to do that with your scales and make sure that you get clear notes until you feel very confident that you can slap and pop and still get the note out of it and you're not just getting all the percussives. Now, with those techniques, you can play a lot of songs from all sorts of genres. We have slapping and popping techniques used in everything from Rage Against the Machine to Marcus Miller if you're more of a funk player, to even Flea. Flea is usually known as the slap god for modern rock in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and give you a couple of examples of how slapping and popping can be used in music. And I'm going to show you a couple examples of some songs that I really like and songs that I learned first when I started doing this technique. thank you guys for joining us on this wonderful bass lesson today. Well, I hope that you had fun and you learned something. If you guys would like some more bass lessons or more guitar lessons, be sure to contact us at our phone number at 956-687-ROCK. If you guys would like to get in touch with us over email, we have our email at mccallan@schoolofrock.com, or you guys can look us up on all of our social media platforms and message us through there. We hope you guys will join us in the future. Thank you.